Okay, today folks, we're going to show you how to add cyanuric acid or CYA using the filter sock method. This uses a skimmer sock, which generally would go on your skimmer basket and act as kind of a pre-filter to your filter to keep things out of your filter and or your pump. But we're also going to use it today to put cyanuric acid in the bowl. This is going to go in the skimmer, so remove the top. And it also helps to have a nice clean skimmer basket like I do. So prep work, take the top off, clean the skimmer basket. I have pre-measured my cyanuric acid. I need approximately 8 pounds for this pool. I have measured out 5 pounds. So I'm starting with a little over half what I need. I'll put the 5 pounds in and we'll see how much that increases my CYA. If it's enough, I won't add any more. If it's not enough, then we'll add more later. Best to add too little and add later than to add too much and be forced to drain your water to remove the cyanuric acid. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the cyanuric acid in the filter sock. And you may or may not be able to fit all of it at once. So one thing you may want to watch out for is this acid does tend to stain concrete and stuff. So we'll make sure that we can get this in without too much of a mess before we actually get started. So let's make sure we can see what we're doing here. And I got a bunch of baskets. I'm probably only going to need 2 nets. I think I've predetermined that I can fit about 4 pounds of acid in at one time. So I'm going to pour this, basically put it over the top of this. Let's make sure we can see everything. And let's raise this up just a bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over the top of my bag so that I can basically dump it all in there. And I think this will hold 5 pounds. So I'm dumping it in right to the skimmer. Definitely is filling it up quite a bit. So hopefully we're going to fit 5 pounds. I normally only put about 4 pounds at a time, but I wanted to start right at 5 or something, so I think we're going to be just fine. Okay, so I've now transferred the contents of my mixing, which is just a leftover bag from when I ordered it, and I've now put it in here. Knot this pretty good. We're not going to reuse this bag. When I'm done, I just throw these in the trash. You could reuse it, but I knotted it. It's now in here. So 5 pounds of cyanuric acid. I'm going to put it directly in the skimmer, and I'll come back, let it sit for probably 20-30 minutes, and I'll come back and I'll squeeze it out. We'll see how long that takes. So anyway, let me put this in, and let's take a look at what's happening down here. It's in the water. I want to make sure it's fully saturated. You can touch the cyanuric acid. It's not going to hurt you at all. I might want to try to make sure that this top part's up here so you have something to grab onto later on. So we'll put it in there. Should be good. So I think I got all the air out. All right, good. So I'm just going to let this sit here. Now notice that this does fill most of the basket with cyanuric acid, so it's pretty tight in there. I do have another skimmer. In addition, I have floor drains. So if this is your only skimmer, make sure your drain is on. You don't want to get too tight of a mix in with you know, with your pump, or else you risk damaging your pipes or actually sucking this through the holes in the basket. So either this or find some other way to relieve the pressure. So I'm going to put this in here, put the top on, and ready to go. Let's come back in, say, half an hour. Okay, here we go. We're back. Been about half an hour. So we're going to check and see if we can get this squeezed out. Remove the top. Looks good. As you can see, there's a little bit of junk in there. That's why you don't want to actually have a lot of junk when you do it, because this can get pretty nasty. You don't want to put in your hands in all this crap when, you know, you get this in there. So anyway, you can see that's starting to go. Now I'm going to start to squeeze this out. I'm going to put the stopwatch on. Not sure how well that's going to come out in the video. Hopefully well enough, because I'm probably going to use a time-lapse motion here when I edit this video. So I want you to see how long this actually takes, so you can kind of get an idea of what it takes to get the cyanuric acid squeezed out. So let's go. Now you can see right away look at this. I mean, this is nice and saturated. I can tell. We waited right at a half an hour. So that's pretty good. Half an hour gave us a nice, good saturation level, and I can feel this stuff is just like soup right now. So let's see how long it takes. So, this will circulate through the pool very quickly. I can test this tomorrow, possibly even later today, and get an accurate test setting of what my new cyanuric acid level is. I'm expecting from this addition, I should be going from about a 40 to hopefully around a 60 to 70, probably about a 70. My pool is 30,000 gallons, so you can do the math on that. There's calculators out there, particularly on pool math on Trouble Free Pool, and that'll show you exactly how much cyanuric acid you need for your given level of water and your existing level of cyanuric acid. All right, I think we're gonna call that done. I mean, we're basically got it all out. And we're at 7 minutes and 12 seconds. And that's done. I mean, the box is completely dissolved, and you can see the water's already clear there. Here's our stopwatch. So we'll call it 7.5 minutes at the most. So we're good. So that's it. I mean, I'm going to come back with the hose now and clean some of this stuff off the edge here that I spilled. But tomorrow. Okay, so here we are, day 2, 24 hours after adding the CYA. We're going to do another test. Let's see if our CYA has increased to where I had hoped it would. Again, fill this container up to the bottom of the label. And that looks pretty good. Right there, pretty good. And let's put our 13 into the top of the label. Okay, good. Both are in. We'll give this a little bit of a shake. As you can see, we're full. So we shake this and let it sit for 30 seconds. Then we do our test. We see what we get. With any luck, we're going to see it 50 or better. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, so let's let that sit. Meanwhile, you can go off and do other stuff, other tests. As you see, we have the whole kit here. So normally I do everything at once and set this to the side when I'm near my last test. And then when I finish the last test, I go back to this. It's had its 30 seconds to sit and mix thoroughly, and then I go ahead and test it. So we're going to see what we get. Probably pretty close right now. I think we're probably pretty close to 30 seconds. So let's go do our test. And again, I try to do the test in the same location every time, so that the light is the same. Now, again, this test says until the black dot disappears. However, it doesn't disappear. It gets close, but it doesn't disappear. So let's test, and then I'll show you the top-down view of what I'm seeing. So I'll continue to add, then I'll look. As you can see, it's about between 50 and 60, so we'll go with 60. Bear in mind, this is not 55.
the chart of CYA is really logarithmic. It's not linear. So halfway between is not 55. So if it's above 50, call it 60. So take a look inside here. That's a little light. It should be a little bit darker than that. So I'm going to add a little bit more and see where it comes to. And right here is about what you want to see. This is what my reference part looked like. So we're going to call this 40. It's slightly more than 40. You could go to 50. It's low enough because I'm going to be adding more anyway that I'm not terribly concerned with it. But right around 40, I'm happy with this measurement. I'll add some more cyanuric acid probably tomorrow and measure some more, and we'll see what we get. But this is what you should see. And then look at the side of the cylinder and see where you go.